Lupus is a complex and chronic disease that can bring on several complications, including kidney disease. And since March is National Kidney Month, we've got Dr. James Tumblin and advocate Kathleen Arntzen here to tell us more. Hello, you two. Dr. Tumblin, I want to start with you. Tell us more about lupus and lupus nephritis.
Right. So lupus, also known as systemic lupus erythematosus or SLE, is sort of your classic autoimmune disease, which the audience has probably heard that phrase many times. And what that indicates is a group of diseases of which lupus is a part of, where the person's immune system which is normally there to attack viruses and bacteria and fungi and cancers, becomes misdirected and starts to inform inflammation against the person's own organs and tissues. One of those that's very common, which occurs in about 60% of patients over the course of time, are in fact the kidneys. There's 5 different types of kidney lupus nephritis, and they have various types of prognosis and outcomes. But I would leave the audience with this kind of comment that we've had previous therapies that were effective. We now have developing therapies which are more effective and, in fact, even safer for long-term use. So it's an encouraging time in lupus.
And can you explain the racial disparities that exist amongst those in the Black community?
Right. So that's been something that's been observed for a number of years. African Americans, as well as people of Hispanic origin, they typically have a more aggressive disease. That doesn't mean you can't treat it. You can treat it and you get similar outcomes, but you may require more intensive therapy and more prolonged therapy. The mechanisms for this are not known. There's various levels of what's referred to as immunocompetence between individuals, and it may be that there's just more vigorous, more active disease in lupus. It's really not known. But again, I would leave on the positive note that these diseases can be treated in those individuals. It's just a little tougher.
Kathleen, what are the challenges of living with lupus?
Well, because both SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, and lupus nephritis impact people during the prime of their life, or what we call the childbearing years, between 15 and 44 is where 80% of people are diagnosed. So it's a time when you're planning your life, your career, your education, and you are diagnosed with this very debilitating, potentially life-threatening condition. It makes you take a step back and reevaluate and kind of do a do-over in your life. What I can say is the most important thing is to reach out to reliable resources and to become as educated and as empowered as possible and become proactive in your own care, be part of your treatment team with your healthcare providers, which can be up to a multitude of specialists, and to make sure that you have a strong support system, whether they're loved ones or family members, advocacy organizations, and to learn and to grow and to live the best life possible. I can say from firsthand experience that I'm alive today because I became proactive in my care, because I became connected with the community, the lupus community. And here I am 3.5 decades later, leading one of the national organizations. And it's been very rewarding to be an advocate and to teach others to live their life and to raise their voices.
And where can viewers learn more?
Certainly. Our website, www.ladainc.org, LADAINC.org, or there's a great resource for lupus nephritis, which is www.allinforlupusnephritis.com, and they'll find valuable resources and a community to connect with.
All right, I want to thank you both for being with us today. Really appreciate it. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.